This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. October 10th is World Mental Health Day, and this year we're saying thank you, therapists. BetterHelp therapists have helped over 5 million people worldwide on their mental health journeys. That's millions of stories, millions of journeys, and behind every one is a therapist who showed up, listened, and helped someone take a step forward. Moments in therapy, like the right question, a safe space to cry, or a small win, can change lives. This World Mental Health Day, BetterHelp is honoring those connections and the therapists who make them possible, while showing how easy it is to get guidance from a licensed therapist online with BetterHelp. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. And it works with an average rating of 4.9 out of 5 for a live session based on over 1.7 million client reviews. This World Mental Health Day, we're celebrating the therapists who've helped millions of people take a step forward. If you're ready to find the right therapist for you, BetterHelp can help you start that journey. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/PFF. That's betterhelp.com/PFF. Another Big Ten game here in USC beating number 15 Michigan 31-13. Let's go over the highest graded player, starting off with the USC Trojans. Highest graded player was Makai Lemon, of course, who I would argue right now is the Biletnikoff favorite with a 78 grade in this one for USC. Jeet Abasiri, the D tackle, 77.6. Devin Tompkins, another D tackle, 74.1. Kamari Ramsey, 72. King Miller, talk about him later, 72 grade as well. And Jaden Mayava, the quarterback, who some people, Dalton in the chat, are arguing is the best quarterback in the country. Another really good performance for him, 78.9 grade for him against Michigan. Michigan, their highest grade players in the loss, Andrew Marsh, the wide receiver, 79.8. Cole Sullivan, the linebacker, 74.2. Jordan Marshall, the running back, 73. Jake Garniera, the guard, 70.9. Andrew Sprague, the tackle, 70.7. And Bryce Underwood with a 68.8 grade in the loss for Michigan. Dalton, what told the story for you?
I'll say this for Mayava. The numbers are outstanding. He's fifth in the nation in passing grade right now, and he's going to get some chances to prove it, too. You've got at Notre Dame next week. You've got at Nebraska in Week 10. And you got a game at Oregon later in the season, second to last week of the season. If Mayava is going to mess around and win a Heisman, he's going to have some chances to have some moments here in the coming weeks that might make a difference. But I'm going to actually focus on him. Him and Lincoln Riley and Jaden Mayava, they executed a plan to perfection in this game. Jaden Mayava was blitzed. We talked in the preview about Wink Martindale. When push comes to shove, he's bringing pressure. Jaden Mayava was blitzed on 57% of his dropbacks in this game. This entire game plan for USC was about dealing with pressure. The screen game was awesome. The RPO game was awesome. There were some design rollouts I really liked, and Mayava got rid of the football quickly. My stat for this game, 2.27 second average time to throw. 2.27, his lowest in over 2 years. Jaden Mayava. He's not usually a guy that always gets rid of the football quickly. There's times he likes to hold on to it and improvise a bit. He got rid of the football on throws, 32 throws, all right? Came out in 2.5 seconds or less. He completed 26 of them. This was a game where Lincoln Riley told him, hey, the pressure's coming. Put the football where I need you to put it. Once in a while, like with Makai Lemon, we're going to have a one-on-one, or with Jacoby Lane, we're going to have a one-on-one. But a lot of times, I need you to get the football out. That first read, the ball's got to come out, and we can beat this team. We have the receivers to beat them on the back end. Obviously, they ran the football well. Also, we're going to get into that. That's a big thing. But 90.6 passing grade versus the blitz. This is exactly what I previewed on Tuesday about this game, was how does USC, how does Jaden Mayava and Lincoln Riley deal with pressure? That's where they beat him, through the air. Unbelievable job, I thought, for Lincoln Riley. Actually, I should say, I want to go back on the 2.5 second thing. 26 out of his 32 throws came out in 2.5 seconds or left. He completed 24 of those 26. Ridiculous stuff. I think the processing, and Lincoln Riley coming in with just a fantastic game plan to deal with Wink Martindale and all of the pressure that he got. Because this Michigan team, because now they don't have Mason Graham and Josiah Stewart and Kenneth Grant, right? Because last year they did blitz a lot, but not quite as much as this year, because they had those guys, and at any time those guys could dominate up front. This year, it's a very good defensive line. Don't get me wrong with Derek Moore and those guys. But Martindale's bringing pressure at the highest rate in the Power 4. That's the first thing you have to deal with as an offensive coordinator. Just outstanding stuff from Lincoln Riley and from Jaden Maiava in this game. Getting rid of the football, playing this game out in space.
Yeah, what they're doing offensively this year is unbelievable. I mean, they're averaging over 45 points per game right now. This is one of the best offenses that we have in college football. I'm looking at the defense, though, because Michigan only had 137 rushing yards in this game. I went into the preview challenging, really, the USC defense to, hey, you need to step up and run defense in this one because Michigan's going to try to win with their run game because really it's how they won last year's game against USC was with their run game. They had 300 rushing yards in their win last year against USC, only 137, less than half of that in this one against the Trojans. USC defense did a great job of strapping on their hard hat and just completely shutting down or really playing well enough against the Michigan run game. They had a stop on 52% of carries in this one, 5 tackles for loss or no gain. Part of it, obviously, had to do with Justice Haynes getting hurt in this one, but the Trojans got it done and made Michigan rely on what's been a below-average passing game this year with Bryce Underwood and really namely those receivers from Michigan just not stepped up enough for them this year. If you make Michigan rely on their passing game, they do not have the weapons or the experienced quarterback yet to take advantage of it. Bryce Underwood has a lot of talent, but he cannot elevate the supporting cast by himself yet, at least. But, yeah, great job by USC's defense of just completely playing well in run defense, allowing less than 140 yards on the ground, too. USC stepped up in run D, which is what they needed to do to win this game, and they did just that.
Did it feel like when we were watching this game, when Justice Haynes got hurt, that the wind really came out of the sails? And I know Jordan Marshall was okay, 14 carries, 68 yards, but did it feel like that when Justice Haynes went out, it was just like, oh, boy, like how are they going to get this done now? Because he's carried such a huge load for this offense. And I think that's a big thing. I think that's going to be a big theme moving forward with Michigan. We saw it in the Oklahoma game. We see it in this game. You know, Andrew Marsh had a big day in this one. He had especially one long catch late in the game for the touchdown. Donovan McCulley has been okay for them in recent weeks, but they just don't have enough weapons on the outside. I think that's something, and even this is going to be a story, I think, going into next year is, man, they need to find Bryce Underwood some weapons. Absolutely. That's going to be the key thing for them is he's good enough. Bryce Underwood is plenty well good enough to win them football games and probably a lot of them in the near future, but they've got to find weapons on the outside where if they end up in a game like this or they end up behind, because right now, you know,
they're 90th in receiving grade right now. It's the same problem as last year. They got a better quarterback, obviously, but it's the same problem as last year.
It is, and I mean, this is going to be an issue if they don't have Justice Haynes for any extended period of time. I don't know what the update yet is on this injury, but if they don't have Justice Haynes, and I mean, look, you can't just run the ball for 300 yards on every team every week.
Yeah,
you can't. And Underwood's good enough to win football games, but even when they beat Nebraska, they didn't hardly throw the ball in that game. I mean, Underwood beat him more with his legs than his arms. So I just think the lack of weapons on the outside makes the game hard for Michigan against a team like this that can score and can get out ahead. And then Justice Haynes gets hurt, and then you go, okay, where do we go from here? Because really nobody else in this Michigan offense scares you other than Haynes.
Yep.
They just don't. On the outside, they don't threaten you like that. So, again, credit to USC still responding because, 137 yards rushing? That's still an outstanding total considering this matchup. And, and again, Michigan ran for 300 yards in this game last year. Big-time improvement from D'Anton Lynn in this defense. I think it's fantastic stuff. Are they the best defense in the country? No, but with this offense, they don't have to be.
Yep. So, obviously, Michigan's lacking weapons right now. USC is not lacking weapons because Jacoby Lane's a great number 2 receiver. But Dalton, I would argue right now, the best receiver this year has been Mekhi Lemon. I would say right now he's the Biletnikoff favorite this year.
He's unreal. I really thought, actually, the biggest play in this game was the outstanding touchdown catch, by the way, on the slot fade right before the first half ended. He does it all. He's an excellent route runner. He can make plays after the catch. He was involved in the screen game a little bit in this game. And the contested catches for a guy who's, 5'10", 5'11"? Mm-hmm. We've seen this. We saw it in the Illinois game, and now we see it in this game. He's got everything. He's got everything. I think he's going to be just an outstanding, especially in the slot. He's going to be an outstanding player at the next level with everything he does, the toughness he plays with, the hands, the route running. He's got it all. He really does. And when you have a guy like this, he's a nightmare matchup for any team. And I think, honestly, the way he can move around the formation, right? And you think about, okay, they're playing Notre Dame next week, right? And you think about Leonard Moore, best corner in the country. Leonard Moore doesn't play in a slot now. So you talk about Mekhi Lemon getting in on all those slot guys, and a lot of time that's where you want to hurt Notre Dame. I know I'm getting into preview stuff, but he's the difference maker.
Yeah.
He is the matchup nightmare right now for this USC offense. And at any time, because keep in mind, where were they at? They were at the 20 or the 18, looking at just taking one shot towards the end zone before the half, and Michigan had tied the game. It was 7-7 at that point. Michigan actually had some momentum going, and Mekhi Lemon he's just one of those players. He can do superhuman things on a football field right now, and he makes such a huge difference for their team. It feels like every single time that they need a game-changing play, it is Mekhi Lemon making it.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, Jacoby Lane did play this yesterday, but yeah, Mekhi Lemon is unbelievable, man. He's the highest graded receiver in college football right now. He has the most receiving yards in the Power 4 right now, because I don't know if you saw, but San Jose State has another receiver they just throw to every single time.
Oh, is that how that's
I've got to find his name, but he had 22 targets yesterday. San Jose State receiver.
Danny Scudero with 170 more receiving yards than anyone else in the country. 88 targets this season. 88 targets.
Who's second? Who has the second most targets?
He
had 22 yesterday.
Jordan Tyson.
Okay.
Jordan Tyson at 74.
That's still 14 more than anyone else.
14 more targets than Jordan Tyson.
It's just San Jose State has this one receiver. It's a one-receiver offense. We're throwing to that guy every single play.
Just some version of Nick Nash.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's just, but what? No, you're right. What Mekhi Lemon's doing right now, I think you're right. Absolutely. The Blitnikoff favorite right this minute.
And there's been some great, like Mario Craver's been outstanding for Texas A&M.
Absolutely.
Jordan Tyson's been amazing this year too. You can go with either Carnell Tate or Jeremiah Smith, but I think Mekhi Lemon, what the guy's done for that offense, which Kobe Lane battling injuries this year too. I mean, he is unbelievable. He is unfreaking believable. We had some comps in the chat, though. I want to shout out. Got a former USC receiver comp, Amon-Ra St. Brown, from Mekhi Lemon.
Oh, if he becomes that, somebody will be real happy.
And maybe Offensive Rookie of the Year this year, Mekhi Buka, someone shouted out too, for Mekhi Lemon.
He's a little bit smaller, and I think a little bit more, although now Ibuka is apparently blazing fast and a deep threat. I think a little bit more like, I want to say crafty after the catch, but I get the idea because it's just he can win, especially now Ibuka is apparently a deep threat with the Bucs, where he can win anywhere on the field, and he's so comfortable in tight spaces and contested spots, and his hands are great. I could see that. I like the first one you had there, though. I mean, St. Brown. You talk about with Lemon just toughness through it, despite being slightly undersized, just unbelievable. He can make any play at any time, and I think St. Brown does kind of work there too. That makes some sense.
I want to shout out someone else on this offense for USC. King Miller, the running back for the Trojans in this one. So one run game struggled, Michigan. Another one thrived. But really, if you told me all the injuries that USC would have in this game, I would not think they could run the ball in this one, because Wayman Jordan went down in this one, and Eli Sanders was already out. So USC lost both of their top two running backs in this game. King Miller, redshirt freshman walk-on, dominated in this one against a really, really good run defense for Michigan. He ran for 158 yards and a touchdown, 98 yards after contact, 8.8 yards per carry. Also had a couple catches for 14 yards in this one. Again, against the top 10 run defense in the country. I believe right now Michigan's 9th in run defense grade this year in America. Against the top 10 run defense, you're a redshirt freshman walk-on. The top two running backs go down with an injury, and you still go in there and run for almost 160 yards and a touchdown. What a performance from King Miller, the walk-on for USC in this game, for not making the USC offense completely one-dimensional with their passing game. They can rely on King Miller, which just opens up even more for Jaden Mayava and Mekhi Lemon and Jacoby Lane in that passing game.
I mean, just unreal stuff. When you have a kid like that step up, a walk-on freshman like that, I mean, that's what more could you ask for if you're Lincoln Riley?
Yeah.
Especially, again, you mentioned it, this USC offense is so often thought of as one-dimensional. No, they can really run the football this year, whether it's with Jordan or with Sanders or now with King Miller. Now you have a third back in there. Being two-dimensional like this with an offense this wide open. And two other guys I want to shout out that I really like how they've played the last few weeks. They're two tight ends, Lake McCree and Walker Lyons. I think they make a lot of great plays down the seams for this team too. This USC offense, they've got everything. They have got everything, and as long as Jaden Maiava protects the football, I can't wait for this game against Notre Dame next week. These two offenses going at each other the way that they're playing right now, that's going to be an unbelievable football game. And honestly, if USC messes around and wins, if they go to Notre Dame and win, we got to start talking about USC in the playoff and everything like that. I mean, obviously, even if they lose, they still have a shot with just 2 losses, and there's still an Oregon game coming down the pipe. But if they find a way to go to Notre Dame and win, there's a freight train coming with USC all of a sudden. It's going to be something to watch.
Yeah, by the way, Michigan currently, this is even after yesterday, currently the 6th best run defense grade in the country. And still King Miller, redshirt freshman walk-on, perform like that.
Unreal.
Crazy stuff.
Unreal out-of-nowhere performance that really, when you talk about USC being ahead in the second half in this game after that Lemon touchdown, that made such a huge difference because then it's like, okay, now we're killing the clock and we're possessing the football. And once you get right now, same as last year, once you get 2 scores ahead on Michigan, you got them in deep, deep trouble.
Yep.
That's how that works with the way their passing game is.
Yeah, big win for USC over a top 15 team in Michigan, and we've got a massive matchup next week with USC against Notre Dame, and again, that's going to be huge for both programs' playoff hopes as well.